Hello and welcome to this free mandolin lesson aimed at advanced players, and you have read that description right. Beethoven wrote a series of pieces of music for the mandolin. I found it in an old music shop years and years ago in Manchester, and I've loved playing them ever since. Today we're going to learn an excerpt from the Sonata in C major, which sounds a bit like this. Everything we talk about in the next 10 minutes or so is included in a free PDF, which is linked below. I should say that this, as I said earlier, this is an extract from it. It's quite a long piece and would have been too long for this free lesson. It would have gone on for half an hour. So I've taken essentially the main melody that the piece keeps sort of modulating back to, and then stuck it with one of the variations, the end variation, so you've sort of got the main hook and then the ending in this lesson. If you'd like the full piece, I suggest you go and search out Music for Mandolin by Ludwig van Beethoven. This is the Sonata in C major. So for the purposes of this lesson, I've just split this into 5 different sections, A to E. Beethoven didn't split it into these sections. This is just so I can sort of break it into smaller parts and we can play through it a few times so we all know where we are. So we're going to start with the A section. It's very C major, very C major. And it's all in second position. If you notice, by the very first note, it has a 2. If you're reading the music, the 2 is written underneath the C, or the 2 is written above the tab, if you're reading the tab. That means you want the first note started with your second finger. So we're down here, which means your little finger is going to have to get ready for a workout. So if you play that opening phrase slowly, all the 9s and 8s. So in second position, 7 is covered by your ring finger. So 8 and 9, unfortunately, covered by pinky finger. Index finger's covering 3. Not sure it's the most efficient way of doing it, but it's how Beethoven intended. So that's how we're going to do it. So if I just play the A part nice and slowly, I'm going to set the metronome about 70 BPM and just have a pause before you play along to see if you can get it. So just remember, you stay in this position all the way until the very penultimate bar of the A section. So I've just slowed it down. This is going to be 65 BPM, so you're at this speed. Let's try it together. This is tricky. A part, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to fly through these sections, so please just keep hitting pause, keep hitting rewind until you get them. And even I've been playing mandolin 20 years, even this is making my little finger ache a little bit. So if yours is screaming at you, that's understandable. The B part is a little easier. So a very common mechanism in classical music is that the B part sort of answers the A part in the dominant fifth of the A part. So if the A part's in C, the fifth of C is G, so our B part sort of is an answer to the A part in the key of G, indicated by how many F sharps are in there. So if I just play it, it's this. So it's just basically a big sequence of G7 technically. So let's just try that together. Metronome back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to complete what I call the main melody, the C part is just a little reprise of the A part. So we're back to second position. Notice how the very last note of the B section is the position shift. So if we just try the C section together. So here it is. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So that ABC is the main melody of the sonata in C major. That's what the whole tune is built off. So if you were to buy the original music, it does that, and then it does like a section, sort of a section like that. Then it comes back to the A, B, and C section again, and then it goes minor. It goes to C minor. Then it goes back to the A, B, and C section, and then it does the bit we're going to do in a minute. So that's sort of how the full tune is structured. But for now, let's just play A, B, and C together as one big chunk. We'll keep the metronome at 65. We're going to speed it up later. After 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. B. I did say this was an advanced piece. If you've found this okay so far, wait until you come across this D section, because Beethoven must have hated the mandolin player that he wrote this for, because this is a swine of a section. So, finger notations are very important. So, we're in first positions to start with here, and we have a little F chord. So we need little finger to help out however you can. Maybe you can sort of decide your own finger notations for this, but this is how I play it. That's how it's supposed to. And it's sort of like, it's a big cross-picking thing. So you've got an F chord, going to a C chord, to a G7 chord, to a C, and then to the F chord, and then to the C chord, and then back to the G7, back to the C. So it's just like a little chordal thing. But he has managed to sneak in a little melody, and I really like it. The lower notes actually are your melody. So 3, 2, 0, 5. If I play it again, you can hear that melody coming out. So da 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 is the melody. So if you can master this and then also have extra brain space to think about some emphasis, your emphasis should be on those low notes. There is a little melody going on the high notes as well, but I like the low note one. I think that's my favourite. So let's try it together. Oh, and also, before we try it together, bar 23. So bar 22 you've got in first position, and then 23 goes to this shape, 3, 5, 7. And then there's the same shape a fret higher. So you just shift in there, and then it's an absolute swine of a section. Let's give it a try. I'll overdub my left hand playing it like I have with the other sections so you can see it. Here we go after 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go round that again. Let's give you another go at that. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Thankfully, the E section is a little easier. Just one quick position shift here. it's sort of another similar, in the same way that the B part is the 5 of the A part, the G to C. This E section is just a big sequence of 5 1 5 1 5 1 G C G C G C. Just sort of switches between G and C. That's what this E section does. So if we play it together, 65 BPM again, not as difficult as a D section. Here we go. 1 2 3 4. Okay, so we now have our excerpt from the Sonata in C major, and I'm afraid the only thing left to do is have a play through all of it. I'm going to speed the metronome up to 75 BPM, so I'm going to add 10 BPM to where we've playing it at. Again, don't forget you can always use the cog down here. I'm only really using the metronome just to keep me in time so you can play along with me. When you play it, you feel free to sort of, come in and out of speed. But yes, best of luck. So we're just going to go straight through A, B, C, D, E. No repeats. Beethoven Sonata in C major, written specifically for mandolin. Here we go. 1 2 3 4. B. C. Here's D. Here's an E. So there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. This is a little different to anything I've done before. All my other lessons, when you look back, are sort of jazz, folk, Celtic, bluegrass, pop songs. So just to throw a classical piece in there, I've very much enjoyed working it out and showing it to you. I hope you've enjoyed learning it. It's a really interesting exercise. Really interesting to see how a classical composer sees the mandolin fretboard. So, making you play that whole phrase in second position. It's a really interesting way of looking at it. You could maybe now try in a different position, maybe try it in sort of fourth position. So you start with your index finger on the fret. So you can really do more stuff with this tune. You can also find the piano part. Hopefully you know a piano player in your life and they can accompany you. Sadly I don't, so unfortunately this video is unaccompanied. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. We do them every month. Please hit like and subscribe while you're here, and head over to mandomike.com for all the other free lessons we've done, and we'll see you next month.